arts, doing mostly body weight exercises, calisthenics, and then we're gonna work with the band, the resistance band a little bit. I'm gonna show you some things you can do to increase the speed and the power of all your strikes and your overall strength of your body, especially your core muscles, so that you can defend yourself more efficiently, more explosively. Start with this basic warm-up. You're just moving your body through space, get the blood flowing, keep the joints safe from injury in the workout. Now bring the hands up into the back, increasing your range of motion. You're gonna start as you turn to lift that heel on the opposite side so you get a full range of motion. Get the blood to move, get your heart rate up a little bit. Now bring the arms forward. Nice big arm circles. Hello, Patrick, it's good to see you. Bringing it forward. Patrick, I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well. Let's work out together. We're bringing them back. Just a bigger motion here, and then bring them together so the fingers are up on one hand and they're to the side on the other hand. Close them like this. Hello, Matthew, it's good to see you. And switch them here. We're gonna warm up the body, stay safe from injury, and then start to make everything stronger. Palms up, you're gonna bring this close to the body. As you go back, you're gonna floss this nerve that's in your body. Hi, Kathy, how are you? It's good to see you. But we wanna floss that nerve, squeeze the inflammation out, we get more flexibility. Naj, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, Patrick. Today is a good day, yes. Front and back, and then hands here, circle, make a big circle. Open up those hips. Pull your belly up and in, reverse, going the other way, going around and around. Oh, Bill, it's good to see you, Bill. Good, I'm glad you're here live. Bill said this is the first time he's caught me live. Welcome, welcome everybody. Who else we have? Kathy, I'm doing exceptionally well. This is a beautiful day down here. Pushing to the side, just kind of front and back, and then to the other side. But I want to show you exercises that you can do at any level of fitness, especially as you're getting started or getting started again, and it's gonna get your body stronger, faster. Let me bring this up a little bit as we go to the ground. From here, your hands are just under your shoulders, your knees are bent, you can have your toes up or down, whatever feels more comfortable to you. You're gonna start with just your head. You're gonna look down and up, just up and down, and do that 4 or 5 times, and then pull your back up and your belly down. This comes from yoga. They call this cat cow. I just say back up, belly down, and your back goes up. Put your head down, belly head up. Do that 5 or 6 times to start to get those hips to roll. And then I want you to go front and back, just side to side. Super simple and easy this way, but this does wonders for your body. And it seems like a very subtle move. It is a very subtle move, but it has very powerful results for your overall fitness. Then, after you've done that, take the knee and you're gonna lift it to the side. Now this is gonna activate the glutes. So many men and women as you get older have weak glutes, especially men. When men reach 45, 50, 60, it's just because you sit all day. People are sitting too much. And then their glutes get really weak, you start getting low back pain, your posture looks like crud. It's one of those things where strong medial glutes, strong glutes on the side make you look better, but they also keep you out of so much pain. Just to the side and up, not too fast, not too slow either. We want to go more for time than repetitions. At least 20 seconds, 30 seconds is better. Just to the side, and you're gonna feel these muscles here start to fire and start to wake up. It's a muscle activation. Then, to work on this part of the rump, you're pushing your heel up. And again, this isn't for aesthetics, it's not for the look. Although, when men get what I call a briefcase bum or a pancake rear, they get that flat back, flat bottom side of the back, that's when they get all of the pain in their lower back. So not only does it look bad and your posture's bad, but especially for men, you're gonna really get weak glutes, weak hips. You're gonna lose all kinds of range of motion, and your back's gonna hurt all the time. This is just pushing up into the side. Now sit on your bum with your knees bent. You're gonna lean back and you're gonna rock from side to side. Again, we just wanna get blood into all of the joints, lubricate the joints literally so that they move more smoothly. The blood plasma, the oxygen that gets in there, the plasma is gonna heal things up, keeping you safe from injury. Now separate your feet. You're gonna bring one knee in and the other knee in. Just side to side, pulling your knee toward the ground, loosen up that hip. I have a lot of motion in the right, less motion in the left. That shows me what I need to work on, which is why we do this too. This gives you a lot of feedback, telling you how to keep your body safe from injury. As you age, don't let age be a limit. Don't let age be the reason why you don't move as well. Tell the truth about yourself. It's not that you're getting older, it's that you stopped moving 20, 30 years ago. You just gotta start moving again. But you have to do it smart so you don't get hurt. Feet flat, hands on the floor, head down. We're gonna do glute bridge. We're gonna do 10 of these. I know I said time under tension, but 10's gonna get into it about 10, 15 seconds. And then I want you to hold it for 30 seconds. Hold it for 30 seconds. Squeeze as high as you can get it. Then let it come down. You're going to put one foot up in the air. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing with my foot. This is another nerve flossing exercise. A lot of times when you get tight hamstrings and they won't stretch, you can't get them up anymore. If you've done axe kicks in the past and now they're not so high, maybe you're overtraining, maybe you've been inactive for a long time, you get a lot of inflammation in the nerve. And if the nerve is inflamed, full of inflammation, it sends a message to the muscle not to move. So no matter how flexible your muscle is, if your nerve is always inflamed, you're not going to be able to stretch like you used to. So you have to floss the nerve. And when I lie on my back, I know you can't see my foot, so I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna pull it back and let go. Pull and release, pull. I'm not pushing forward, I'm just pulling. After you pull, let it go. We're gonna do that pulling here, beneath and behind the knee, and your knee can be slightly bent. And I'll just show you that I'm pulling the foot. You're gonna do that about 10 times. And then, let me see, maybe I can move. You're gonna hold it back, almost like you're trying to push your heel into the ceiling or into the sky, and then lift that gently toward your chest. And then, same thing, put the other leg up, pull and release. Do that about 10 or 15 times. Hold it, push the heel up, pull gently into the chest. And now one more on the back. You're gonna let the knee fall out, side to side, just about 20 or 30 seconds. And then you can go through the rest of the traditional stretches that most people do. Now I want to show you something that I learned from Bill Superfoot Wallace. He lives here in town, and we used to work out at the same gym. He was working out there long before I was. I was in the boxing ring. If you don't know who Bill Superfoot Wallace is, look him up on YouTube. I've interviewed him. The guy's in his 70s and he moves like he's 25. And anyway, he's not only was he a world champion kickboxer, and he was in a lot of movies with Chuck Norris and, you know, back in the day, Jackie Chan, those kinds of actors. But he also is famous for his incredible flexibility. He would always kick one leg up and he had great leg control, one leg, because the other knee, he had some injury. Anyway, Bill Superfoot Wallace is an exercise physiologist. He has his master's in exercise physiology, and he also has had limitations, and he learned how to do it right so that he doesn't injure himself. And what I learned from Bill was you stretch one leg for about 10 seconds, and then you switch to the other leg for 10 seconds. Then you go back to the first leg, and this is miraculous. Try this and see for yourself. The next time you go back, after the first 10 seconds, you go back, you're gonna be more flexible. Same thing, more flexible. And then you go a third time, and on the third time you hold it. So the third time you go down, you have much greater flexibility, and it's because the muscle needs time to change. The plasma has to get in there, the heat gets in there, it starts to become more elastic again, especially as you age. So switch, do 10 seconds, 10 seconds on every stretch that you do, static stretching, 10 seconds, and then the third time, that's when you're gonna hold 30 seconds or longer, and then see how much more flexibility you have when you try that. So do 10 seconds per side for 2 sets, and on the third set, instead of 10 seconds, hold for 30 seconds, and watch. Your flexibility is going to increase dramatically. Now, since we're down here, let's do some push-ups. When you strike, when you guard, when you grapple, or when you work with weapons, you need a strong, powerful chest, arms, shoulder, fingers, hands, elbows, belly, back. Everything is working when you do the push-up. It's like a moving plank. You have to suck your belly up and in. And the key is to do the push-ups with the hands under the shoulders. Almost everybody that I see who doesn't have a good push-up, and that's 90% of the people, because they didn't do Ranger push-ups, military or Marine Corps push-ups. There are just a few branches of the service, and within that service, just a few small groups that teach you how to do it correctly so you don't hurt yourself, and how to maximize your power for fighting, for combat. So hand-to-hand combat in the Marine Corps, you have to have good push-ups. That's where all of your striking power comes from. But your hands have to be under your shoulders. This is too wide. Almost everybody does push-ups like this, puts a ton of stress on their shoulders. They get shoulder injuries, or they can never do them well. You have to bring this elbow in closer to the body, either all the way in for a true tricep push-up. It still activates the chest, but it's a lot of tricep, or just slightly out a little bit. But the hand is under your shoulder. So put your hands under your shoulder, get your stomach up and in, eyes straight, down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, 5 is the magic number on push-ups. Do sets of 5. You can do 2 sets of 5 back to back, or 10. 3 sets, 15. You can 25. I'll often do 50 in my first set of the day. If I feel really fresh, I might go to 80. But then after that, as I go through the day and I still do them, I'm doing less and less and less. In a set of 20, 20 is a magical number for push-ups. So doing 20 is your ultimate goal, to be able to do sets of 20, but do 5 at a time, because if you can do 5 really good ones, but 10 sloppy ones, you want to pick 5 good ones. You can do 5 amazing push-ups, or 20 really crummy half push-ups, then do your 5 good push-ups. So again, stomach up and in, eyes straight, lower yourself and push. If you can, extend up a little bit. That works more into the intercostals, giving you a lot more strength. Now we're gonna go back up and stand up. That's enough for groundwork. I wanna start to get your legs strong, and I wanna bring in the exercise band. First thing we're gonna do here is I wanna show you how to modify. If you're not able to do push-ups for any reason, you can't get to the ground, or you're not strong enough yet, you can get a band, and this is kind of a medium resistance band. The width of the band will tell you how much resistance. The wider the band, the harder it is. The more narrow the band, the easier it is. So start with a band that works for you. I put a link below, the first link. Yes, 210. Naj, that's right, Naj is down in Miami. Isn't it a beautiful day today, Naj? It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's supposed to get cold for Florida, almost down to 46 degrees overnight. Whew, can you imagine? It's funny because I'm from Ohio. That's 46 is pretty warm, but it's beautiful today. We just went for a big hike. Saw a baby gator this big. Saw a big gator missing an arm. Just a beautiful place. 712 in the UK, Kathy says. All right, Kathy Ann, we're pushing and then in. This is a way to modify and start to build power for your push-ups. This is also going to give you strength in your punch. And I'm gonna show you how to get power for punching, how to be able to increase your speed of your punches, and how to knock somebody out for self-defense using these bands, get that strength. But I just want you to do the same thing. Depending on how much resistance that is, do sets of 5. If you can do 5, and that's pretty easy, go 5 more. Yeah, Nash says most definitely beautiful here. And then if you can keep doing 5, do another sets of 5. It's 10-12 in Moscow. The key here is as you go out, hey Doug, it's good to see you, really squeeze this muscle. The more blood you can get into the muscle, the more you're gonna make it change and grow, and you're gonna get healthier when you do that. Snow is on the way where Matthew is. All right, now, one way to make these push-ups with the bands a little harder, way to progress depending on how much resistance you have. If you have a band that's not a lot of resistance, but you still wanna get the maximum value out of it, then do 5 here, hold it, do 5. See how this hand's not moving? So I'm keeping the resistance there. Good afternoon, Wilson. Oh, I'm glad you're recovering from COVID. Here. Wow. Yeah, Patrick says where he is, I think Slovakia, right? Slovakia is really cold. Here. Yes, I have. The question is, have I ever tried Wim Hof method? I have. I love the Wim Hof method. I've always been into over-oxygenation of the blood through breathing. I teach this. I teach a full and complete breathing. It's one of the ways I create massive behavior change in children in the classroom. No matter what the challenge is with the behavior, I can turn around behavior for most children and adults. But I've done it on massive scales with programs. It's what I do right now. And we incorporate breathing. It's not exactly the Wim Hof method. Wim Hof method, if you're not familiar, is really fast, 30 seconds or longer, and then slow, clearing breaths, and then holding the breath and seeing how long you can do it. And I love the Wim Hof method. If you haven't seen it, you want to look at it. But it's very therapeutic. It's good for so many ailments, especially if you ever suffer from depression. It's really good for that. No snow in Germany, Peter says, but it's cold. All right, another way you can modify your push-ups here is you push the hands out, do a set of 5, and then across the body. This is almost like the butterfly machine in the gym. 4, 5, and then another set of 5 here. And then every 5, add a set here, 2, 3, really squeeze 4, 5, and do that over and over. Now another way so that you can get faster punches is just to punch with the band. So starting to punch this way, good. Punching this way activates those muscles. You're gonna feel this a lot in the triceps, in the shoulders, and then do 30 seconds of that and then slow down. In 30 seconds, pushing. 30 seconds pushing. Now, the next thing I want you to see with the band is how to really work the legs. Sandude, where is Sensei Emmett? I don't know. I haven't seen Sensei Emmett today. He's getting ready for his 100-man kumite in Ireland. So maybe Sensei Emmett is punching a bag or someone's punching him or he's punching somebody. From here, I want you to then activate. We're gonna work the forearms and the arms for punching, for striking, for using the weapon. The feet are standing in the band, so you just stand in it. And if you separate your feet a lot, you give more resistance. If you bring your feet in, it's less resistance. But from the position where you stand in it, you're now going to pull this way and squeeze at the top. Squeeze at the top. Remember to keep your elbows in. If you're going like this, it's too much shoulders. You want to be here. Always protect those shoulders. Squeeze your belly up and in, abs tight, holding it up. And you're going to do this. This is definitely, you want to go time under tension. We're going to go 30 seconds. Unless you have a really heavy band, then do what you can. But the point is to squeeze at the top, and really, as you squeeze, you want to activate that muscle, right? Squeeze, 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 and you can see it's also activating these muscles. And then you release it. I'm not a sleeves up kind of person, but I just wanted to show you the muscle activation. And then after 30 seconds there, if you want to work the triceps, because I always like to do like a bicep tricep combination where we're doing a pulling and an extending exercise. That, yeah, Sandude says, band exercise is awesome. I was saying to someone yesterday, I now prefer the band over almost every free weight, every machine, even kettlebells, just for the resistance. Yeah, Matthew says he's using Cane Master's cane with the industrial rubber band. Matthew, that's perfect. So I put this here, anchor myself here, and then I'm going to do the tricep extension. Now you might not have a floor bag, but there are many anchors, many other places you can anchor that. There, you can see I have those hooks that I hang things on, those big hooks, and you put it into something that won't move. I'll anchor this on one of those hooks, put my hand on the wall, and then I can push back. You can take this, the way it's made, and you stick something through this, like, let's say a wooden spoon, right? Just because that's all I can think of. Take a wooden spoon, stick it through, or something that's round and a little bit bigger that won't slide through. And then you put it through a door jamb. Let me show you. Here, we'll use a dry erase marker. We'll put that through there, leave the cap on, bring that over. Here's the door frame. Put that on the other side of the door. That's a tight door frame. The door, or maybe the top will work. Yeah, make sure it closes. That's now on the top. Now I've anchored that, and you can do, when I put that on, the marker fell out, so I don't want this to fly and hit me in the back of the head, although that might be funny to watch. But it's anchored in there pretty well. But now, using your industrial rubber band, Matthew, you can work those triceps, doing tricep extensions overhead. You can do tricep just where you bend the elbow and push. We'll see in the mirror a little bit. Let's see if we can get back there. There we go. Just pushing down. But there's so many ways that you can do it, right? And that's just using a regular door. That's not a fancy door. That's just a cheap door that they put in this space. But those are ways now you can work the back of the arm and curling. Also, I love to anchor this thing here, and you can pull, and again, this could be anchored in the door, but you put both hands down, palms down, and you're pulling your elbows in and back. This is an upright row. This gives you really strong power. If someone were to come in, take hold of your hand, and you reach out and you grab them, snatch them through, which is a technique we would do for self-defense. You want to have that pulling power. Or let's say you have to pull yourself up and get out of a bad situation. Pull yourself up to stand up. I mean, think about how many people in the airplane are always pulling on the back of your seat. I like to do exercises so that when I'm on that airplane, I can stand up without ripping somebody's seat off. You know, but that's just a personal preference. That's something to work up to. But this is a way that you can work those muscles and do two exercises at once. Get the back muscles in there and fire those legs, the hamstrings and the glutes especially. You put resistance on it, and then as you go down, the resistance here is allowing you to have a better range of motion. It's also going to get your heart rate up, so now you can do your squats, but you can also pull and do the squat, pull. Now your whole body's working, your heart rate's going up, you're starting to lean out faster, you're getting wicked strong for self-defense, so when you hit somebody, you have stopping power, which is the whole goal, the whole purpose of all my exercises. When I work out, I'm always thinking, how can I create the most strength so that if I hit somebody, I can make them stop? It's all about, for me, it's all purpose. I have to have a purpose by my workouts. I'm not going for good looking muscle. I'm not going for beach muscle, right? I'm going for knockout muscle. How can I create the most power to defend myself and my family? Going back here, we're gonna work the legs again. I'm gonna step in it, and then I'm gonna pull this up and in. I bend the knees and I stand up. So these are just front-loaded squats. If you were in the gym, you had a barbell, you were to pull it up and put it across the front of your chest and squat. That's the same motion. It's gonna really work your quads, gonna fire your glutes, you're gonna get the hamstrings in there, the lower leg, it's gonna force you to engage the core in the front and the back, your chest, your shoulders gonna have to be down. It's good for the heart and lungs to condition the body. So this is an amazing overall exercise, but also think about standing up, striking through somebody, knocking them off, getting them off of you, pushing them back. You have a lot of power in this exercise. Plus this keeps you young longer so that you're not hobbled when you get really old because you can't stand up out of a chair anymore. You have to get one of those chairs that lift you up just to walk out. And if that's your reality because of some injury or something that's outside of your control in your life, fine, go for it. But just don't, if it's because you haven't moved your body in 50 years, because you've been watching too much TV or you've been sitting while you work, do something about it. This is a good way to build some strength, even if it's just a little bit at a time. And if you have to, hold on to something and do small motions until you can work up to the band. So from here, I'm just gonna go down and up. This is all about time under tension. Make sure you stand up all the way, lock those knees out. That allows the blood to rush through. It also helps you not fatigue so fast so that you get the maximum benefit of the exercise. Just make sure you're not bending at the waist. So don't do this. It's not a deadlift, it's a squat. 5 more seconds here. And then I'm gonna rest. And when you rest, I like to do, especially with the bands, do exercises that maybe hit a different part of the body while you rest from the legs. We're gonna do an exercise that activates the muscles along the upper spine and get your shoulders back and down so that your posture's better. You don't get neck pain and headaches because you're like this all day long. Another thing is if you do a lot of push-ups and you don't strengthen these muscles back here, you'll start to roll forward. Yeah, John says he swears by resistance bands too. I've met, you see it in the gym all the time. I went into a gym that has all young people a week ago. I was thinking about joining there because it's the only thing close to the house, and I did not. I couldn't do it. It's too much selfies, just too much young people for me. Nothing against young people, it just wasn't my gym. But it was full, like 300 people. And you see like 8 out of 10 guys never work the legs. All they do are try their biceps and chest press because they're trying to get big. In their mind, they're equating size with strength and power, which is not really true. Size, often, sometimes it does mean you're stronger, but it doesn't always mean that, right? And if it's just gym muscles, if it's just bench pressing muscles, you don't know how to use them, or you're just locked in one range of motion. There's no value there. But the other thing that happens is, Wilson says he does 50 squats in the morning and evening. Awesome, loves resistance bands. But a lot of boys, men, young men especially, they start to get, Sand Dude says legs are most important. They get bigger chests, right? Their chests are getting huge and their biceps are getting huge, but their posture is crap. And they're all rolled forward. And so when they look in the mirror and they're flexing, they feel like they're not strong. They haven't made any so they keep doing it. And before long, their back hurts, their neck hurts. They have all kinds of postural problems, all because they didn't learn how to get their shoulders back and down, stand up straight. And if you think about it, they're trying to look big. They look puny in their mind, but their muscles are huge. And it's because all they had to do was stand up straight. And to stand up straight, we use the band to activate these muscles. You hold this on the ends, and your thumbs are gonna turn back and down. So this starts about as high as your forehead, and it's gonna come down to the top of your chest, under your chin. So from here, I just turn it back and down. And as I do that, I don't know if you see, my hand is turning this way, and you're gonna feel it up here, activating those muscles, and it's gonna start to pull your shoulder blades back. It's gonna get your chest down. When you stand up straight, you're gonna look strong and powerful instead of weak and puny or whatever it is that's making them do millions of push-ups and not any pull-ups. So if you could do pull-ups, do pull-ups. If not, even if you can do pull-ups, do these too. So throw a set of these in between the squats. Do like 3 sets of those front-loaded squats with 3 sets of these in the middle. It's gonna improve your posture like you won't believe, but it's also going to alleviate any of that tightness and stiffness and headaches from doing nothing but pressing motions, chest press motions, and then your chest gets rolled in because it's too tight all the time. This will actually stretch it out and make you look bigger, stronger, more powerful. All right, so the next thing is we're gonna add, because I always like to maximize how much I can get out of my training time. I don't have as much training time as I'd like. I'm gonna stand on it, bring this in for the first exercise, but this time I'm gonna press straight up. And when I was showing some of the boxing young men from this summer, I had a group of kids. I call them kids, they were all in their 20s. But they all were boxing with me, and I got them all in the bands, and we started doing this one. And they all at the same time said, "Oh, Tom Brady exercise." And I said, "What's that?" I didn't know this was called a Tom Brady. They said, no, Tom Brady uses bands so that he can be more explosive and injury-free when he plays football. He uses bands all during the off season to maintain his strength and to maintain his explosiveness. And so they all knew, but they hadn't tried it yet. So they equate Tom Brady to, yeah, Doug says a lot of bodybuilders don't stretch. Had a little interruption there. All right, so we do, again, a set there, just bend and squat. Now from here, we can pair that one with this exercise. Now this is an upright row, but it's very important when you do this upright row that you don't whip your shoulders up so high. Don't bring your elbows above your shoulders. So only bring it to here. Second, don't bring your hands above your elbows. So your elbows to here, your hands are low. This is gonna force you to squeeze your stomach up and in. It's gonna activate those muscles in the back. It's gonna get you very strong, but it's gonna protect your shoulders. If you start to do this, you're gonna force too much on the shoulder, and that's where people get hurt doing upright rows. That's why some people say, don't ever do upright rows. I will say, don't ever do upright rows incorrectly. And you're not using a bar, so you can go slower here, learn how to do the technique right. But you're gonna lift. You wanna be able to do a lot of pull-ups one day, and doing upright rows is gonna get you there if you do them right. So keep the elbows under the shoulders and pull the hands, keep the hands under the elbows, and you're gonna pull and hold. Pull and hold. We have 5 more, just so we can try to hit 30 seconds. Keep that belly up and in, and keep your chin down. Make sure you're not stretching your neck up. Sometimes people will get soreness in their neck, and if you get lumps in your throat when you're doing a lot of hard exercise, that could be a sign of a heart attack is coming. So if you get a sore throat after doing heavy exercise all the time, you should see a doctor, because that's not normal. But sometimes that happens. People are straining like that. If it's because you're straining, then correct your technique. But if you're getting unnecessary pain here, have it checked out. That's a good warning sign. Your hand is here. You're gonna step on it here. So it's in one hand, and I'm gonna bring my elbow in line with my body. I'm gonna press straight up. Now only do this with a light band. From here, exhale, pushing straight up, building super strength in the shoulders. Do a set of 15 because we're gonna split the time, 30 seconds, 15 seconds per side. And then, same thing. I was gonna stop there, but I wanna show you one more that's amazing for the chest. If you really wanna get a strong, powerful, useful self-defense chest. So chest that you can use to knock somebody out with. Oh, hey, good afternoon. Nixon, it's good to see you. Welcome. Anchor your band. And again, find a place to anchor it. You don't have to have a bag. And you're gonna make sure that this shoulder is down and not up. If you start doing this, it's not the same exercise. So watch yourself in the mirror or on a camera. Make sure your shoulder's down. You're gonna bring it across the body, across the body. As you do this, it's gonna fire all the muscles in that chest and give you a lot of blood, get a lot of blood into the pectorals. But this makes your strikes so much harder. You'll be and faster. Watch your hand speed improve. You want to knock somebody out for self-defense, do this a lot. And then simply turn the other way and do the same thing on the other side. Usually what I do when I'm teaching, because I teach through the internet a lot, I have a lot of private lessons now where we teach one-on-one using something called a Facebook portal. I just bring this across, so I'll switch to the other side so I can still watch your form. The mirrors have helped too, because I can turn around and still see the camera. And again, you're going for time, right? And you're gonna feel, if I was the type of person that would take off his shirt, which I'm not, I would take it off and show you how the muscles just really explode and fill with blood during that exercise. And anytime you get blood to fill into the muscle, then you get really powerful. Nixon, welcome. Nixon says, finally made it for live. Although, Nixon, I apologize, this is the end, but I'm glad you're here. You can go back and watch this. We just did a whole bunch of fun, dynamic, powerful exercises. Some body weight, a lot with the resistance band, but all that you can do at home so you can get more powerful strikes, a better guard, better at grappling, better at using martial arts weapons. You guys have been awesome. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you tomorrow. I'll be live again tomorrow, so I'm not sure when. I'll try to figure it out and then post on this channel when it is, but I don't know yet. It just goes on, it depends on how the day goes, what I can get done and how fast I can get over here. Yeah, so thank you, Kathy. Kathy says, take care. Abigail, love the exercise. Thanks, Abigail. Glad you were here. You guys are awesome.